Hi, what's going on, guys? Welcome to episode 3 of NA, Nerds Affiliated, the show. I know we missed last week. I ended up going out of town, so sorry guys I didn't get last week's episode up, but hey, who's counting, right? We here this week, we're gonna make it happen, but we're just gonna jump into it. I got some good stuff for you. The wicked moment, for this week. It's gonna come from April Fools. There was some funny stuff out there and some interesting kind of teaser stuff too that kind of just play with our emotions. But we'll get into all of that. I'm gonna start off with what's new with me. What I've been playing. I've been still playing Titanfall. I know you guys saw I was doing the Twitch where I was trying to reach Respawn's challenge that they had set up for Titanfall for let's see if you can make it to level 50 by the end of March. Didn't happen. I tried, but it just didn't happen. Mainly because I ended up missing like a whole week of playing, and I tried putting it into overdrive on the last day to see if I could just deck it out. Didn't happen. I think I'm like at level 46 right now. What I'll probably end up doing is twitching out when I get close, so that if any of you guys out there still haven't seen how the generation appears when you switch over, you can check that out as I do that. What else? I picked up Batman Origins because they got the new Arkham Knight coming out to the next gen, and I played all the previous Batman, so I didn't want to skip any, so that's what I got back here on the 360. I've been getting into, so I just kind of went back and I wanted to get that game and play that. So I'll be getting into that. I'll let you know my thoughts on it. There's plenty of reviews out there being into old and last generation game from last year fall, but I'll still let you know my thoughts of it. I plan on running through it. I also picked up Thief. I'm kind of, I don't know, on the fence about this game. I haven't played it just yet, but just kind of seen some of the reviews and gameplay. And I'm a fan of the original from the original Xbox. I played it on there and thought it was unique for its time with the stealth ability and just the mechanics of being able to pickpocket. Because at that time I was playing Morrowind, Elder Scrolls Morrowind, and I kind of felt like the worlds were kind of similar, so I was kind of hooked into that game. So that was a game for me, but we'll see what this new one's talking about, and I'll probably be twitching that out too once I start playing that and getting into it. So just kind of look out for that. But that's pretty much all that's been going on for me this week. I mean, nothing really new. Like I said last week, I went out of town to South Carolina. And from there, I'm from the country, so there was no way that I was going to record this and be able to get it up out there because there's no DSL or cable internet out there. They're still running dial-up or unless you have a hotspot out there, like a Verizon little hotspot, you're in dead zone. That just goes to show you that how much of the country is still not up on broadband internet. But yeah, nothing really new there. Just been trying to catch up on some game playing and whatnot. But for this week, wicked moment, I'll let you guys kind of check out the video before I get into it. So here.
That's right.
Hello? Yes?
Okay, you might want to
Okay,
shut that down.
Thank you. Thank you. I'll call back later. Thank you.
Hey, I want to publicly apologize.
That's okay.
I'm very sorry.
I've been expecting this, and
Okay.
I already know what I'm going to name the baby. The first name will be April, and the middle name will be Fool.
But as you can see, that I thought that was just hilarious because we all had, if you went to school, you know you had that one teacher that was like, oh, put your cell phones on mute. Of course, we all had that big, at least when I went to school, I was in college, we had the that Nokia big phone that looks like a house phone on your head. But you had that one professor that would be like, if your phone rang, you have to answer it in front of the whole class or whatever. Well, I just thought it was hilarious, the look on this guy's face when the girl picked up the phone and dude was like, yeah, we have your test results back. You're having a baby. Do you know the father's name? Dude just picked up the paper. He's like, but I thought that was pretty funny. That was pretty cool. Little prank that April Fools that they were able to pull off on their professor. And good thing they didn't get in any trouble for that or whatever. So I thought that was pretty cool for the wicked moment of the week. Yeah. But let's get into what's been going on in game news, you know. Kind of catch up on the week that we missed and a little bit from this week. You know, Elder Scrolls, the MMO, is out for PC now. Console goers, we're still waiting, you know, as they, I don't know what they're doing with it. I think it's supposed to come out like later, towards the end of summer, I believe, for consoles. But it's out for PC. Of course, they've had a beta for some time now. But I heard in an interview they were just kind of talking and debating the difference between them going the subscription route versus the microtransaction route. And I gotta say, personally, I would prefer the subscription. You give me one flat fee at the beginning of the month, I pay it, and let me play all I want. The only two games I really have done that with though recently was Aeon and DC Universe. And DC Universe, of course, now is free to play. But when DC Universe first came out, I remember I went out to the store, I bought the game, that was $60. I paid like $30 for there was some kind of, I think I had some kind of pass that cost $30 or whatever, but to play online it was $30. So look at that, it was almost like $100 I paid just for to play this game, and now it's free to play. And of course it's microtransaction, which some people looking at with that would be like, well, that's the better deal. But my thought process is on that, the average game, you pay $60. PC games you may pay 40 something bucks or whatever for it. But if you charge me a subscription of $9.99, I mean, there's World of Warcrafts that do $15 and whatnot. But I'd rather pay that up front and then I have access to the whole game versus it being free. And to get all the cool stuff, you charging me $5.99 to upgrade to a new armor, or $3.99. Heck, before you know it, you already paid a month subscription and plus. And just like one sitting playing, or over, I don't know, maybe 2 weeks, you've already paid what you could have paid in just a 1 month subscription. So I think that microtransaction is kind of a dangerous thing from a consumer aspect, because depending on how addicted you are to the game, you could just be dishing out money. And of course, that's what they want as the developers. So that's just kind of my thought on subscription versus the microtransaction. I know a lot of games, though, more so this day, it's going towards the free-to-play and in-house microtransaction. I mean, just to show how big it is, I have a Windows phone, and they have the game The Sims free-to-play. It's just Sims, but I mean, I was putting in time into that game, like in my spare time and whatnot. I got to the point where I started paying money inside of the game for the microtransactions. I started giving it was $3.99 for stuff to get extra stuff in the game. I started doing it. Man, it just had to hit me like one day, like, really, You paying extra money to play a free game on your phone in your spare time. I guess that's just genius marketing on the developer side, but that's just I just thought that was interesting. I think it's good that the Elder Scroll they're deciding to go to subscription based versus microtransaction, because as big a universe as Elder Scrolls universe usually are, like, just imagine how much money you would spend in there. It's ridiculous. But what else has been going on? First, it was the leaked photos. I think like a couple of weeks ago, or maybe a week ago, with a new Assassin's Creed. It's called Assassin's Creed Unity. It looks like it's going to take place in the French Revolution. Of course, when it leaked, Ubisoft didn't waste no time. They kind of jumped right on it and released their official trailer for the game. And which, I guess they just kind of wanted to catch up with the leak, because there was nothing special about the trailer. It didn't really tell us anything. It just kind of showed that it was in Paris, and you could kind of see that it was during that French Revolution period. Which I guess it'd be kind of interesting that they took this period on in history. Be interesting to see what side that he plays. I imagine he's going to be on the side of the revolution, but only time we'll see, because there's been no, even in the official Ubisoft information they've put out, they haven't really gotten into who this new assassin is, what's his backstory to become an assassin or anything like that. So that would be kind of interesting. And I mean, who's not excited for Assassin's Creed? I have every single last one of them. I've played every single last one of them from the beginning as Altia. They release Assassin's Creed, that's just an automatic buy for me. Just like with some people releasing Call of Duty is an automatic buy, or releasing Assassin's Creed for me is an automatic buy. The Ubisoft would be crazy if they ever stopped making Assassin's Creed on an annual basis. And being that this one is going to be exclusive next gen, I mean, they can add some new stuff here. This should be an interesting one, you know. What else has been going on? No Man's Sky. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that. They actually announced this game at last year's VGX. That's the Spikes Gaming Award. And this is just a small indie developer company. There's only 4 of them. And basically they've made this open world game where if you're looking up at the sky and you see a star, you can actually go to that star and like travel that planet. Man, other people who go there and happen to find that same star, they go there. If you made any type of marks or anything, you change to the environment, like it would appear for that other gamer. So it's kind of like an MMO of a vast universe that we, the gamers or community, get to explore and discover stuff in this world together. But I bring them up because they're actually have video and little pictures up of them experimenting this game with the Oculus Rift virtual reality headset. And I just think that would be so cool. Like if you're in an open world and you can walk around in there, you know, with the virtual reality, I think that would kind of bring the whole concept of that game, you being able to explore a whole world with other people using a virtual reality headset. I think that's a good first step for that market. So if they're able to get that to work, I think that'd be pretty awesome. So I'm interested to see what those 4 come up with trying that. And also, I don't know, all you PS4 owners out there, if you haven't heard, Sony just announced them and Naughty Dog that Last of Us is coming to PS4. It was leaked out and then they kind of chased it down, kind of cleaned it up or whatever. But Last of Us has been revised for next gen PlayStation 4, which who's really surprised about that? I mean, it's their biggest selling, one of their biggest blockbusters last year from the PlayStation 3. I'm not surprised at all. But I'm not a fan of, if I played it on last generation, I'm not just gonna go buy it and so I can play it on the next. In fact, Tomb Raider, I thought that was a great game. I thought it was actually slipped on. Like, I thought it looked very nice on the 360. and I played it. And I'm one of those people, when I play a game like that, Assassin's Creed, I like to like collect every collectible, finish like if there's anything on my map, like it has to go. I need like nice clean maps. Like if you check any of all my Assassin's Creed save games, my maps are clear. There's nothing lingering around. Like that's just a habit of mine. I must clear it. And Tomb Raider, I did that. Like I really got into that game. I enjoyed it on the 360. And they came out with the next gen the redefined or Refinity version of it for Xbox One and PlayStation 4. I'm not gonna go buy it again just so I can see some upgraded graphics, maybe. No, like I've played it, I've enjoyed it. May come out with a part 2, I'll get it. So I guess it's good for people who didn't buy it on last gen but got the new generation. That's a good way to capture them. But I'm not just gonna go back and get that. But yeah, Last of Us is coming to PlayStation 4 for you PS4 owners out there. And next I want to talk about is the Xbox and the way they have the Xbox One set up now. Basically, they're able to send out like system updates like randomly, like just like smooth, easily. Kind of you don't even know that they do it, but so that's kind of cool. But I saw the guy on the tech writer for Yahoo. He wrote on Yahoo, and he was saying how, oh, it's such a pain. Oh, Microsoft, here you go again, making us players plug our controller up to do updates again. Really, it's not that bad. Like, I'm not one of those people that get into like the fanboy, like, oh, Xbox One rules, or PlayStation 4 sucks, or Sony sucks, blah 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 blah. I'm not gonna do that. I'm a gamer at core. I've had the majority of the systems besides PlayStation 3 and PS4. Like I started off with a Nintendo 64, Super Nintendo, Sega, and PlayStation. Like I've had them. I've had them all. I had the Atari. I actually still have it. So I'm not biased. Like I'm just a gamer. I like games. That's why I say that I plan on getting a PlayStation 4. But this guy clearly acted like he was getting a check from Sony or something to kind of smash Microsoft on their updates and the firmware you had to update in the controller. The last update Microsoft did for their controller, I plugged it in. It literally didn't take 60 seconds. Literally, it may have been like 30 seconds, if that. Like what I didn't understand. That kind of just bugged me. Like, why are you putting this out here on Yahoo? And they actually made like, I mean, you go to Yahoo homepage and it has the flashing images of their headlines. I was like, why is this here? Like, why is this a big deal? It's not a big deal for you to update your controller. Like, any Xbox One owner, are they really that perturbed that they have to plug in their controller for maybe 30 seconds and let the software update? I don't think so. But anyway, that dude was kind of a douche.
You are a douchebag. That's right, a douchebag. But you are always going to be a total douchebag.
But yeah, Microsoft is supposed to be releasing some more updates and firmware updates this month of April for the Xbox One. I know the next one has like some features like with the Blu-ray. It's supposed to be able to do 50 hertz video output. There's some more firmware coming for the controller and your headsets. The silent boot reboot update, so that most of you know that you have the ability to come in and tell your Xbox to Xbox on, and it'll come on. But when you do an update and the system restarts, it kicks out of that sleep mode. So if you come back and you didn't know an update took place, you can be yelling at your Xbox, turn on. And it won't turn on because it actually updated and it just powered off. But the update's supposed to like fix that. It'll put it back in sleep mode, so you'll be able to still just say Xbox on. And kind of before I leave the Xbox thing is another thing that I saw yesterday that's just coming out. Titanfall is supposed to be getting some new updates, and one of them I found out is going to be matchmaking. With the matchmaking, they're going to set up private lobbies. You're going to be able to do private matches. That's kind of interesting to me. that they're gonna set that up where you can do just private fights, battles, I guess you could say. The only bad thing about it, you don't get XP for these private. I think Halo was the only one of the Halos that allow you to get some XP, or I could be wrong, but that should be interesting how they play that in there. They do some private Titan battles. I guess if you have it out with somebody in a game and you guys want to settle the score, you can take it to a private match. So I thought that was interesting. Just wanted to throw that out to you. Also, the man himself, Into the Dragon, Bruce Lee. I'm not a big UFC fighter fan, and I haven't played any of the games, but the new EA Sports UFC fighter game, it has Bruce Lee in it. I don't know whose idea that was, but that was pretty dope. Like, I don't know, I'll probably gameplay the game or something, just so I can play with Bruce Lee to get him to kick somebody down. Bruce Lee's that dude everybody knows, the only man that took down Chuck Norris in a pair of underwear. You remember that? What else? We're gonna get into some tech news, I guess. Now, I guess the big thing, like yesterday, that came out, actually occurred on Monday, was that the Heartbleed bug, and that's pretty much encryption exposure that's happened in the secure socket layer. Anybody out there else is a programmer, a web developer, I'm sure you all know about the secure socket layer. Well, the bug or whatever exposure occurred in the open source of SSL, and basically it allows attackers to be able to grab your information. Is just kind of like your pertinent information. They can get hold to all the important information, like your password, user ID, and credit card information. And the security firm that actually found this out, the one guy that I was reading his article, he created a little app that you can actually, if you know the URL of a website or something, you want to test it out to see if they're exposed to this bug, because this is pretty serious. I don't know how much real true techie coder guys we have out there that knows about a secure socket layer, but that's how all our information, passwords are transferred back and forth. Your transactions and whatnot are made. Like, that's a real big deal when it comes to web servers and web pages. So it's a pretty serious or profound hole that they found. But this guy at the firm, he created a website where you can just type in the URL name, excuse me, and his app will basically tell you if that server is exposed to this bug or not, and you can kind of report to them to tell them, hey, you need to patch this up. Because actually going into your account, trying to change the passwords, anything like that, actually helps them out, because this bug actually allows them to see anything that's being transferred across those ports or connections. The one guy even said that he was able to get past information and cached information. So that's kind of a big deal. And of course, they said they tested like Microsoft, Facebook, Google. They weren't exposed to it, but the one site that was Yahoo. I don't know what's Yahoo and their security issues lately. They just got bumped on the head not too long ago about their instant messenger and how there was no security over that, and they were just sending those messages across the internet and playing text all this time. So but their head of security came out and said, oh, they're working on it, patch that stuff out. But that does not surprise me the least bit that Microsoft would be Yahoo would be the only ones that opened up like that. But anyway, moving on. During the week that we missed, Microsoft announced the new head of Xbox, Phil Spencer. Any of you gamers out there, I don't know, true Xbox fans or just a gamer in general, should know who Phil Spencer is. Like, he was the head of studios for Microsoft for a long time, and basically that means that he's the guy that's pretty much determining which games are coming to the console, which studio they are captioning. Like, if they see, oh, this game looks dope, let's buy that, make it Xbox exclusive. Like, he has that mindset. So I think it's a good thing that he got bumped up to that position, because it kind of lets you know that he understands the gamers, and he gets it about what we want from games. So I'm actually excited to see what some of his first moves are going to be as the head of Xbox and going forward. So I think it's pretty cool that he got that bump up. I also tech news. What else we got? Amazon threw their hat into the ring for kind of gaming with their announcing their new Amazon Fire TV with the controller. And basically, I chopped this up to be it's a media streaming device that you can buy a controller with too. It has your services like Netflix, Hulu, and other apps that you can stream media across. But at the same time, they're kind of doing that. Everybody wants to go in this game on demand, like cloud streaming based gaming. With PlayStation Now, Sony's doing it with PlayStation Now, and then there's the Steam boxes out there that's doing it. That you can put in your home and kind of stream games that way. And there's no difference with Amazon. Basically, you purchase the controller and you'll be able to do the same thing. I've seen a few. They have like a Minecraft that's exclusive to it. They also have like this first-person shooter that I was looking at that looks pretty interesting. But I'm not going to be an early adopter to that console. I'll just kind of keep my eye on it. If any of you guys get it, hit me up and let me know. Like, send us an email. Let us know how that works out or what you think of it, your thoughts on it. But they did buy, just to let you know, like, I guess how serious they are about the gaming. They bought a Killer Instincts studio, double Helix. So I guess that's a big start to let you know that, hey, they're going to take it serious. But we'll just see where it goes from there. But moving on, we're going to go into our nerdasm for the week. And here, I'll just let you guys check out the video first.
Stand by for Prime. Transferring control to Prime. Prime will be ready in 2 minutes. I'll take you all along. Engaging Titan Clone. Transferring control to pilot. One shall stand. Titans shall fall. Titans, roll out.
And that right there, really messed me up, because watching it, I was like, I knew this is fake. It's on April Fool's, so I know it wasn't real. But come on, how awesome would that be if you could play Titanfall and like get a burn card or something, or DLC, and call in Optimus Prime as your Titan? I thought that was pretty funky. Even though, Optimus Prime looked pretty blocky or whatever, they could have made a better defined version. But understanding that it was just an April Fool's, just the concept of it, I thought that was pretty dope, pretty awesome. I won't say it was necessarily on its epic proportions, but I thought it was pretty dope. The teasers like that. That the Optimus Prime or Transformers landed in Titanfall. So yeah, that's our nerdasm for this week. And kind of moving on, we're gonna get into our fan questions that we got this time. We got a couple, actually. We got 3 user questions this week. Our first question comes from Steady Spitter 96, and he wanted to know what made me want to start NA. And pretty much, I have a passion for gaming. I have a whole collection of games. I'll actually take a picture or make a video out of that and show you guys. Like, I have a whole little closet full, all the way back from the original Xbox games, 360 to now games. I don't trade in any of my games, so I just kind of keep them all. So it's just, the reason is just I have a passion for gaming and technology. I love learning new technology and just seeing what new gadgets are out there, and playing different games. So yeah, I just wanted to create a community or platform where people of like interests could kind of join in on a conversation with me, and we can just kind of, you know, keep up, I guess you could say, on these things together. Just create a whole community out of it. So that was kind of my reasons of it. I was just kind of like, why not? Next question we had from JP Stoner. I hope you're in Colorado, JP. You know, Mr. Stoner. His question was, how often will you be twitching? I know I've mentioned a couple of times that I've been twitching, and it hasn't really been a consistent basis. I was going to be doing it like every Wednesday at 10 or 11, but I just can't commit to that every Wednesday. I mean, for the most part, I would be able to do it, but I don't want to set that as an exact schedule that you guys be looking for it and it's not up. So the easiest way to just find out is just follow us on Twitter, and you'll see whenever I'm twitching. Come to the site and you'll see a headline or floating news break, or I'll have a prompt when you get on the site to let you know that I am twitching at the moment. So but yeah, the easiest way, follow us on Twitter, add Nerds Affiliate, and that's the quickest way to find out when I'm twitching, because I still have Metal Gear Solid 5 I need to beat that I'll be streaming out. Like I said, I have Thief now. I still have Dead Rising, which I'm almost done with, and I'll be twitching out when I reach level 50 for Titanfall. So just keep up with us on Twitter, and you'll see when I'm twitching. Last question we had was from Batterboy6. He wanted to know, do I like my Xbox, or do you like your Xbox One? Why don't you have a PS4? Well, the reason why I have an Xbox One and a PS4, just to jump to that one, is I adopted the Xbox, the original Xbox before. Well, I had a PlayStation at the time too. I just adopted it I switched over to that and fell in love with it after I saw the original commercials for like the original Halo. Like, I remember I cut grass lawns to buy my original Xbox, and from there on I just kind of been hooked to it. I have nothing against PlayStation, but I just kind of stuck with Xbox. I kind of thought the 360 had a little bit more better game selection than PlayStation at the time, but I do plan on getting a PlayStation 4. But yeah, that's the only reason. No negative thing against Sony or PlayStation is why I have an Xbox One. It's just that I've kind of been with that console from the beginning, so I've just stuck with it. Haven't switched over. But that's it for our user questions. Next, we have Gameology from last week. We did Who's the Boss? Here's the boss we did last week, right here. And our winner from last week was Alex from Vermont. He got the correct answer, and I was actually quite surprised. I got quite a few answers, but I didn't think it was that hard. It was quite a few of you that kind of off. I even had somebody give me a game from Nintendo 64 that was kind of odd, but yeah, maybe I'll start mentioning like what generation or what consoles the game's for next time. But yeah, last week's Who's the Boss Gameology, the correct answer which Alex got was, the game was Deus Ex Human Revolution, and the final boss name was the Hydro Project. So that was the correct answer. He won. I know I told you guys that I had an extra copy of Titanfall and I was going to do a contest on that, but I figured I'd just do something else with another contest. And basically I asked him if he had an Xbox One. He said he did, so I gave him that, and I threw in a Nerds Affiliated t-shirt with that, so he got Titanfall and an NA t-shirt for last week's Gameology. If you guys want to get in on the action, you can just enter in for this week's Gameology, which is going to be Who's the Boss again. Since I had so many people participate in last week's version, we're going to just stick with the Who's the Boss concept once more this week. And here's this week's Who's the Boss. And if you know the answer, just shoot us an email with your name and where you're from, and if you're the winner or the first one that gets the correct answer, I'll get back to you, get your contact information, and we'll get you over some cool stuff. But as far as nerd news for this week, there's nothing new really going on. I know if you guys are seeing like the graphic with the cartoon nerds. I did have somebody ask me why there's not a female nerd in there, so I'm actually getting that drawn up to insert a female nerd in there. I'm probably gonna have her I might have two in there. I have like some cosplay or something going on with her, but no, we're not biased. We're not sexist here. There can very well be a female nerd. So that's kind of just an update there, and the little logo or Nerds affiliated stamp that new character to be added in there. But that's it. There's no breaking news right now. Still working on getting some more people in. I'm still in talk with a couple of people from Instagram on getting their content up on NA. But check out the store, you guys, if you want some t-shirts. Pick up your t-shirts there. Follow us on social media. All the sites are at Nerds affiliated. But until next time, peace.
Welcome to the new age, to the new age.